with motivation. Jonas Andrew-Phillip tells me avoid desperation. There's still facts to rebuild a nation, to make us strong. Enhance a bond full of brothers and sisters. Tell the future we can build whatever we wish to. Put your mind on the map, eyes on the prize. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.
Hello kings and queens, the Waste Man to the winner, Jonas Andrew-Phillip here today, and today got the 11th episode of the Let's Talk Facts podcast. And guys, I'm going to be real with all of you. I waited so long to do this. There was so much drama going on with my apprenticeship work. I wasn't getting the best support I could. Long story, I'm going to go into it another day, but basically the provider shut down, so I only had 6 months to complete an 18-month apprenticeship, and it's still not complete. I've still got to get my qualification sorted out. I don't have a qualification and I've left the job. It's crazy, but that's a story for another day. And what I wanted to do today was I wanted to actually share my story of how I became the Waste Man to winner, but I thought to myself, let's give it a few more episodes before I do that. But for now, I'm going to explain to you, as you've seen on the title, as you've seen on my social medias, the way that the pandemic changed me. How has COVID changed me? What's COVID changed about Jonas? That's the question that we're going to be asking today. And COVID's probably changed a lot of us, the way we think, the way we interact, the way we carry ourselves and our demeanor. And I just had to share some things that it's changed about me. There's a lot of things, but let's go for this one. First one, it's made me understand that I'm a social animal. Now, I grew up in a single parent household, and I got bullied a lot at school. I didn't trust anybody, students, teachers, nobody in my school. I didn't trust them at all because of the way I was being treated. Look, there were times where I was silly at school too, but the way I was treated, I don't feel like it was just. And I'm not saying I was perfect, but yeah, you live and learn with stuff. But I got to the point where I thought, nah, I don't need nobody. And plus all these gurus were saying, oh yeah, you don't need nobody. This is in secondary school. So I see all these people saying, oh man, I'm independent. Look, I'm self-made. So I thought, I got no one. So I'm self-made. So I thought I didn't need anybody. I never used to get invited to outings with people in my school. I was never in group chats. People would talk about outings in front of me. I don't know if they did it on purpose or not, but they did it regardless. And I was not in any group chats either, and it got to the point where like some people would even make group chats called Everybody But Jonas. And I was like, where did this come from? And then it also got to the point where in year 10, I was added to a group chat. So I said, oh, thank you to the person that added me. And then they just deleted me immediately. And I even said something in the chat, but just got removed. So, but again, more stuff like that will come in my story where I explain how I became the Waste Man to winner. But I didn't miss anybody during the pandemic, to be real. Don't get offended, I just didn't. But when one of my boys called me and said, oh, do you want to meet up, because the restrictions have changed. I didn't even know that the restrictions had changed, but they did. So we met up, and it was a good time. That's what I'm going to say. It was a very good time. And then I realized that I need to cherish my friendships more. I don't have hella friends, but I've got strong relationships, a few strong relationships, and that's all I need. A lot of people say to me, they actually do say to me, this is why you ain't got no friends, Jonas. I'm like, I don't need a big circle. Am I 6? What? No, I don't need a big circle. I'm 19. The core people are cool. You don't need so many friends. You can have a good group, but some people like smaller groups of friends. Some people like bigger groups. I prefer smaller groups. And the thing is that most of my friends are all separate. So, yeah. But yeah, that was mine. And doing that, it made me realize that I actually am social. And even when I spoke to the head teacher of my secondary school, the person that came in to be head teacher when I was year 11. Yeah, year 11. He said, Jonas, you've always been a sociable kid. You've always been a people person. And I was like, what? Me? People person? So are you serious? But then I realized that I was. So yeah, that's my first one, that I'm a social person. The next one is number 2. If you're not willing to adapt in life, you are not going to win. I'm sorry, there's no other way to slice it, dice it, or ice it. If you are not willing to adapt, you're not going to win. And the reason that I know this is because, firstly, I read a book and it said this, but this was end of this year I read that book. But pandemic is a perfect example of needing to adapt. Now, the whole way this podcast came about was because I always wanted to do a podcast. And I recorded an episode with somebody in January, but the person didn't want. The person had the footage because we recorded it on their camera because they had a way better camera than I could afford, and they then said, "Oh, we don't look professional enough." So I was like, "Cool, that's fine." So we didn't air it out. But then the pandemic hit, and I remember calling Jaden, and the reason I'm chuckling is because he's actually year 11, so he was very resilient with this, and that's why I chuckled a bit, because that kid's a legend. Like, he even does the theme song for the podcast, so big up to Jaden as well. Jaden Lufin is going to be one of the best rappers in the world one day, mark my words. And essentially what happened was I called him and I said, "Hey, the schools have been shut because of this pandemic. Do you want to record a podcast?" And he was on it. He was like, yeah. The thing with Jaden is, I rate as well, he's always first on my things. Like, he was the first person I did a live stream with, first person I did the podcast with. He's always on it. So, like, I gotta show respect. Always will. That's my brother. So we did the podcast episode. People liked it. Then I approached different other professionals, and I still want to bring on young people, so I did that. And then because I was like, I need to focus on my coursework for my apprenticeship, because the whole provider situation from day dot, it was a bit mad. I had to focus on that so I wasn't too stressed. But yeah, the provider ended up going bust in October anyway. I did the podcast, but I'm a speaker. Remember, I'm a public speaker, if you didn't know. You probably didn't. I'm a public speaker, and essentially I just wasn't feeling this online thing. I was like, no, that's dead. I'm not doing this online thing. And I had so many gigs finally lined up because I was still a rookie in my rookie year of speaking. I was like, yes. But then the pandemic hit, a lot of the stuff went away. So I was like, I'm not doing no virtual thing. I was going to hella events as well, but I was like, nah, man, nah. But then I had to realize that I got to adapt and get used to it, because we weren't going to know how long we were going to be here for. It took me a long time. I don't think I really said to myself, okay, fine, I'll accept it, until about November time. So that's very long. And I was saying to my mum, hey, we're going to be out of here in summer. We're still here. You got to adapt if you want to win, because everything's going to be changing in the world all of the time. And if you choose to either not challenge yourself to adapt or just neglect it, trust me, you're not going to grow, you're not going to learn, and you're just going to be a trend. Do you want to be a trend? I don't think so. You want to be a legend? You know what to do. That's the second. The third, and maybe in some people's eyes this is the most important one, the third thing that this pandemic changed about me was maybe understand the importance of downtime. In school, I was a slacker. I did not care about school. In primary school, I was in top set. And then by the time I got to year 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, bottom set, I didn't care about school. I wouldn't say I didn't see the point, but I was just like, I don't like this. I didn't enjoy it personally. That doesn't mean I don't respect teachers, because I believe teachers should be getting paid more for what they do. But me, school just wasn't for me, which is another reason why I left college in year 12 and got an apprenticeship. And I know I'm saying loads of stuff that you guys probably didn't even know about me, but again, in the life story, how I became the Waste Mantle winner, you're going to hear about that. But it made me really cherish the fact that you need downtime. People that don't know me, one of my favorite sports is basketball. Football's close second, but basketball's number one for playing. Football, I like watching football, but playing it, I'm not really a player. But in primary school, I think I was pretty good. But you know, you know what I mean. But in basketball, you know about people like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, that put in crazy work and have high work ethic. I was like, I gotta be like them. I gotta be a gym rat. I was going to the basketball court all the time, waking up early, going to the basketball court, sometimes even coming back down to play again. But I had to realize that you need downtime sometimes. And this relates to business, because I switched over my work ethic within sports to business when I started getting into business and stuff like that, and getting more serious about my career after secondary school. And I didn't rest for about 2.5 years. I didn't take any breaks or anything. I was always working on stuff. And I didn't burn out, but I had to realize that life is short and you never know when it's going to be your time to go, because life is technically a loan. We're here on borrowed time. I've had near-death situations twice, and that could have been it for me, but I'm grateful that I'm still here. But you never know when you're going to be gone, so just stacking money over time. Sometimes you've got to spend it. Money's energy, and money's like water. It needs to flow. So, yes, save a portion. Don't save all your money. Pay yourself first. Pay what you need to pay. Save what you got to save. But then put some aside, like maybe 10% of your earning or 20% of your earning to having fun and doing stuff, because there's so many things I want to do in life that obviously my family couldn't afford when I was younger. My mum couldn't afford, when I was younger. And my grandma when she lived with me too. But I know I'm going to get to the point where I can afford it. So just putting money aside and making a list of stuff I want to do is good. And some stuff's not even, you don't even need to pay money for it, like going to museums and stuff like that. Museums are actually fun, you know, trust me. I learn a lot and I like it there. So you can call me a Nico, you like, man don't care. Man don't care, don't worry. But yeah, like, come on. You know what I mean? There are some good museums out there. Let's not lie to ourselves. But yeah, just enjoy life. And yeah, that's my third point, to be honest. Got to ensure that you have some breaks. Sometimes give yourself a rest and spend it with the people that you love too. That's it. So kings and queens, I hope that you enjoyed the first episode back for the Let's Talk Facts podcast, episode 11. If you like it, you know, share it with a family member, share it with a friend. Next week, we're going to be back with an interview, episode 12. Season 2. I said season 2 when I was marketing it, but it's not season 2. I'm going to try, well, I will. I'm promising you, I'm affirming it and commanding the expectation from myself. I am going to put episodes out weekly and not stop weekly. I enjoy interviewing, as you can probably tell. So yeah, I'm going to do that for you guys and provide you with consistent and valuable content. It's going to be sweet, trust me. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, if you're on YouTube, give it a like and share it. Comment. If you're on Spotify, do what you got to do on Spotify. Google Podcasts, do what you got to do. Apple Podcasts, do what you got to do. SoundCloud, that's the original platform for us. Do what you got to do. And kings and queens, I'll see you next week when we run it up again. Jaden, hit that music.
I need an hour of motivation. Jonas Andrew-Phillip helps me avoid desperation. There's two facts to rebuild a nation, to make us strong. Enhance a bond full of brothers and sisters. Tell the future we can build whatever we wish to. Put your mind on the map, eyes on the prize. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.